At the beginning of the movie, we get to the Massachusetts Institute for a lecture to the professor mathematician Gerald Limbo. The professor leaves a difficult task on the blackboard in the hallway, hoping that one of the students will be able to find the solution before the end of the semester. We also meet Will Hunting, a simple janitor at the same institute. Seeing the assignment in the corridor, the guy scrutinizes it carefully and intently. In the evening, Will relaxes in a bar with his friend Chucky. However, soon the guy leaves the establishment and returns home, from memory transferring a mathematical formula seen in the corridor to the mirror. In the morning while working, Will Hunting decides to write down the solution he found on the blackboard. Soon students inform Limbo that someone has solved the very problem in no time. The professor only has to find out who turned out to be so brilliant. The unsuspecting Will spends time with his not-too-prosperous company. The guys notice a crowd of guys insulting a girl. Among them is a guy named Carmine Scarpaglia, who beat up Hunting in kindergarten. A fight ensues, as a result of which Will is taken away by the police, and soon the man must appear in court. Professor Limbo at the same time tries to understand who so quickly solved the most difficult problem, on which Gerald himself and his colleagues puzzled for about 2 years. In the corridor of the institute, Limbo notices Will writing on the blackboard again. The professor chases the janitor away, but sees that the problem has been solved completely correctly. Gerald realizes that he has found his brilliant student. Will Hunting, meanwhile, shares with his friends a possible dismissal because of a quarrel with Limbo. Together, the boys arrive at the Harvard bar. Chucky tries to meet girls by saying he is a student in a history course. However, Carl, a Harvard student, tries to stop him in every possible way, making Chucky look not very smart. However, Will intervenes in the case, who suddenly shines with his extensive knowledge of politics and history. In addition, Hunting meets Skylar, who overhears this intriguing conversation. After that, the hero returns to his home in a not-so-good neighborhood of Boston. With the help of human resources, Professor Limbo learns Will's name and comes to his trial. Hearing the young man's wise sayings, the professor realizes that he has great potential. The judge at this time lists a rather voluminous list of transgressions of the defendant. As a result, Will is sent to the colony, but there he meets Professor Limbo. The man says that the judge agrees to let Hunting go on 2 conditions: to meet with Gerald himself once a week to study math, and to work with a psychotherapist. The latter statement makes Will laugh, but he still agrees to the conditions imposed. Limbo and Hunting's classes go wonderfully well, they understand each other half-heartedly. Will perfectly copes with all the tasks, which makes his teacher very happy. However, things don't go so smoothly in meetings with the psychotherapist. The rather clever hero is sarcastic and studies his doctors, forcing them one by one to refuse to work with him. Limbo turns to his old friend Sean McGuire for help. Like Will, the latter grew up in a not very prosperous neighborhood, and Gerald really hopes that this psychiatrist will be able to cope with Mr. Hunting. During the meeting, Will again uses his techniques of suppression, but Sean does not succumb to them, and sincerely interested in the opinion and thoughts of the hero. Hunting tries to hurt the psychotherapist, but he reacts extremely calmly and respectfully to any words about his painting, sports, and books read. The only thing that hurts Sean is Will's assumptions about his wife. When Hunting continues to insult the woman, Sean unexpectedly threatens him. Despite this, the psychotherapist decides to work with the guy. Sean's house looks very depressing. The hero himself drinks and stares doomily into the void. Meanwhile, Will meets Skylar in a toy store in the pair chat, trying on different funny glasses and masks. Snacking on a couple of sandwiches, the characters have fun and end up kissing. The next day, Will starts working again with Sean, who takes the guy to a lovely lakeside park. Will continues to be sarcastic, but the psychotherapist unexpectedly shares his thoughts about the hero. Sean argues that all the knowledge the guy has gained about the world is only theoretical, because he tries to shield himself from experience and experiences. The psychotherapist's heartfelt words about love and loss touch Will, and he becomes pensive and silent. Sean says he can't understand the hero until he's willing to talk about himself. In the evening, Will spends time with friends and calls Skylar, but does not say a word. At another meeting with a psychotherapist, the hero is silent. Sean tells Limbo about it and says that in this way Will is trying to prove to him his independence, that he can be silent if he wants to. The professor criticizes him, but Maguire promises that his tactics will be beneficial. Limbo's colleagues argue with Will's solutions. They are annoyed to realize that a young man with no education can solve incredibly complex problems, but they can't argue with the correct formulas. At the next meeting with the patient, Sean even falls asleep, but Will suddenly strikes up a dialogue. The heroes discuss Skylar and Hunter's fears that if he gets to know the girl better, she won't turn out to be all that interesting. Sean says that's a way to miss out on a lifetime and tells some fun facts about his wife. The characters laugh and the ice between them gradually melts. Sean says that his wife is no longer in this world, but these character traits still warm his soul. The psychotherapist advises not to miss such moments as with Skylar, because only in close relationships you can understand whether you want to let another person into your strange and sometimes painful world. When Will asks Sean why he's not getting married a second time, he metaphorically replies that his wife is gone. After the conversation, Hunter decides to get to know Skylar better and comes to her dormitory. However, in the dialogue, the hero feels a little stiff and asks the girl to give him another chance. Will sets up a meeting with Skylar, and the girl agrees. However, the hero reappears and gives the girl a completed assignment, then relieves her of her studies. The couple comes to the dog race and Will watches Skylar and her delight with awe and a smile. On the girl's questions about his family, the hero answers evasively. At the next meeting, the guy asks Sean about his wife, how he realized he loved her and whether he regrets meeting her because of the pain he feels now. The psychotherapist sincerely shares his thoughts and feelings. It's as if he is reliving the meeting with his wife all over again. Will is shocked to learn that Sean skipped the legendary 1975 Red Sox game to meet a girl in a bar. The therapist emphasizes that 18 years of marriage and even the meeting itself is more valuable to him than missing the legendary game. Skylar says she wants to meet Hunting's friends. The company meets in a bar, the girl laughs and enjoys socializing with Chucky and Will. However, while out on the street, the drunken guys blurt out that Will lives in a den, not in a house with his brothers as he told the girl. Sean and Limbo meet at the bar, and the professor asks the psychotherapist to talk to Will about working at the university. The psychotherapist argues that it's too early for that, since they haven't dealt with the hero's past. The argument ends up getting more heated, with Sean saying that you can't manipulate a guy and offer him more than he can handle right now, and Limbo arguing that his talent needs to be realized as soon as possible. The action shifts to Will, who is having a conversation with Skylar. The girl cannot understand how the hero manages to easily and effortlessly memorize such volumes of information on various topics. In the evening, Skylar offers Will to go with her to California, where she plans to study at Stanford. The thought of leaving his hometown causes panic in the hero, because he is afraid to depend on the desires of another person, or worse, to stay in a strange place all alone. Skylar accuses Will of lying, but says she loves him and wants to help him accept himself and not ruin his life. This finally pisses Hunting off. In panic, the hero leaves the crying girl because he cannot believe that such a rich and intelligent heroine is able to love him. At the meeting with Limbo, Will feels depressed. Will responds to an offer to work at the university that he may not want to be a teacher or study math. Limbo asks Will not to ruin his potential and to pursue something that can help the world. At the meeting, Sean asks if the hero feels lonely. The psychiatrist suggests the guy to think about what he would like to do and take responsibility for his own life. When Will doesn't answer the question of what he would like to do with his own life, Sean points him to the door, which amazes the hero. Skylar flies to California and cries saying goodbye to the hero. The girl confesses her love, but Hunting stiffly asks the girl to take care of herself, because it is difficult for him to build relationships with people and tell the truth about his feelings. Soon Will talks to Chucky and says that he wants to work with his hands all his life. The friend criticizes the guy and says that he is wasting the potential that Chucky can only dream of. Limbo and Sean argue again about Will's job. The psychotherapist tries to explain that the hero's secrecy and problems are due to the fact that the people who were supposed to love and protect the boy treated him harshly. That is why Will continues this harshness at a conscious age, believing that he deserves it. The conflict soon escalates into accusations from Sean that he is jealous of Limbo's success and is therefore ruining communication with Hunting. The enraged psychotherapist parries by saying that Gerald and his kind have always considered Maguire a loser just for choosing a cause he enjoys. The mutual barbs and recriminations take an increasingly disturbing turn, and eventually the men forget the original reason for the argument. Will interrupts the screaming and uproar with his appearance. At the session, he and Sean discuss domestic violence. It turns out that the psychotherapist has also been through a similar experience. Will realizes that his attachment issues led to his breakup with Skylar. Sean repeats the words that it's not the hero's fault, then brings the guy to tears. The heroes embrace, letting go of guilt and pain together. After this conversation, Will's life finally changes, because now he realizes that he wants to live his century not in vain, to realize his potential, to benefit himself and the world. The hero goes to a job interview, and also continues his conversations with Sean. The psychotherapist says that Will is finally free and can live in peace. Saying goodbye, Sean advises him to do what his heart tells him to do and wishes him luck in all his endeavors. A group of friends presents Will with a car for commuting to work. At work, Sean is visited by Gerald and the man apologizes for his behavior. The friends make up and go to a bar. Will arrives at Mr. Maguire's house and leaves a message in the mailbox. Chucky arrives at his friend's house, but no one opens the door. Soon the therapist learns from the note that our hero went to California to Skylar. This is the end of the movie. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. Give this video a like. Write in the comments what you think about this movie, and see you in new videos.